My sister-in-law copied everything about my life down to my hairstyle, so I gave her something to copy that ruined completely. I've had a shadow since I married my husband 4 years ago and met his sister Regina. And I don't mean that in the normal sister-in-law boundary issues kind of way. I mean it like if I got highlights, she got highlights. If I joined a yoga studio, she'd join the same one with the premium membership. If I bought a purse at Target, she'd get the designer version and tag me in the photos. It started small, almost flattering even, like when she bought my wedding dress in white after seeing mine in ivory. Regina told everyone she'd had her eye on it first. I didn't care since I was already married, but by the time we both got pregnant, it got disturbing. I announced it at Easter dinner, but Regina announced it at my baby shower, claiming she'd been waiting for the right moment. I chose a specific doula. After months of research, Regina hired her the next day, offering double the rate and got my slot. When I switched to a different birthing class, Regina switched too, sitting right behind me each week. Then my mother-in-law pulled me aside after Sunday lunch. You need to stop making everything a competition. Regina just wants to feel included. She's always looked up to you. This jealousy you're showing is ruining family dinners. It was frustrating how everyone only thought about her problems, but whatever. I was focusing on my own life. 7 months into my pregnancy, I finally shared the name we'd chosen at a family dinner. Lillian, after my grandmother who'd raised me. It was the one thing I'd kept private, special, sacred even. 2 weeks later, Regina gave birth early and named her daughter Liliana, but she didn't just steal the name. She told everyone at the hospital that she'd always loved that name and had it picked since high school, making me look like a copycat. But the worst part came when I confronted my husband about it. He defended her completely, saying I was being hormonal and oversensitive about similar sounding names that aren't even identical. I sobbed for hours and kept saying, that was my grandmother's name, our daughter's legacy. She stole it like it meant nothing. My husband slept on the couch for a week but didn't budge at all. That's when I decided to give Regina exactly what she wanted, something to copy that she couldn't handle. I found the perfect trap, a wellness program for mothers that was actually a multi-level marketing scheme requiring massive upfront investment. One of my friends had barely escaped it and warned me not to join. I knew what I had to do. I started talking about the program at every family dinner, calling it the life-changing opportunity I desperately wanted. Then I showed my mother-in-law fake emails about how exclusive and hard to get into it was. I literally acted obsessed with this particular program, making sure Regina would hear me every time. And after 3 weeks of building suspense, I announced that I'd given up because the investment was too much. I even looked devastated. That program was my dream. I hope the spot doesn't go to someone who won't appreciate it. I knew Regina couldn't resist, and sure enough, she started hunting for information immediately. She approached me privately, and the conversation was staged brilliantly with her acting concerned while fishing for information. Regina didn't even research it properly and already wanted it after my first description. She kept insisting she could handle whatever I couldn't manage to commit to. And a week later, she approached me while glowing. Remember that program you couldn't qualify for? I just signed up. Looks like some of us are more dedicated mothers than others. You should probably stick to simpler things. I didn't say anything back, knowing full well the disaster that was about to come. During the first month, she had to buy $15,000 in product inventory. Regina posted constantly on social media, but no one was buying her desperate pitches. Then monthly quotas kicked in, and she realized she desperately needed to recruit others or lose her investment. But recruiting meant alienating everyone, something she didn't consider after having been so eager to one-up me. So Regina showed up at my doorstep uninvited, looking frantic. Her designer clothes were replaced with the company's cheap logo wear, and she had desperation in her eyes. She stared at me for a long moment before speaking. You knew about this scam. You did this on purpose. I just shrugged and told her I'd never even signed up for it. And besides, she had joined the program on her own. She couldn't prove anything. Her husband had already discovered she'd drained their savings for inventory, and she couldn't return anything. 6 months later, Regina was banned from family events after trying to recruit my mother-in-law and selling at my daughter Lily's first birthday party. She told everyone I'd set her up, but she sounded more like a desperate salesperson than an actual victim.